Okay, welcome back. As you can see, we're bringing both supports along this time. The reason for that is I'm kind of anticipating a lot of injuries this mission because I'm definitely going to go for at least one more alien capture because we haven't gotten a new plasma weapon to reverse engineer in a while, and I'm really anxious to get up to the next tier of plasma weapons as soon as I can, so that's the reason for that. And it's only a small scout. I'm not too worried that anything too nasty is going to happen on this mission. And we'll get some more melds, so with any luck we can get some more genetic upgrades going soon.
We can secure the crash site. We should be able to prevent any civilian casualties.
You really just say nothing interesting ever, eh, Bradford? Unfortunately, another rural mission. I was really hoping that there'd be some more of the urban UFO crashes. I've only ever seen one before in a previous run. And I was really looking forward to showing those off because they are new to Enemy Within. But, well, what can you do?
Come in, HQ. Big Sky has reached the outer marker. Approaching the crash site now. Strike team is awaiting your orders.
Affirmative, Big Sky. Strike 1 is free to engage hostile targets at the crash site.
Okay, so first things first, trying to see through the fog of war if I can find where the UFO might be based on its shape. Unfortunately, can't really see from this angle. A lot of cover around, thankfully, and 2 meld canisters out there somewhere. With any luck, I should be able to just pick up the first and then complete the mission before the second one decides to self-destruct. So slow and steady up, but trying to stick to the trees and the rocks as best as I can. My thought right now is trying to head as northeast as I can, and then maybe swing across that canal to the northwest, if possible, and just to see where the first alien pod is. That should give me an idea of where the UFO is. They tend to cluster. At least one pod will be inside the UFO, one will be just by the entrance, and then there'll be at least one more kind of wandering around near the pod by the entrance, so the first one we find should give us a pretty good clue as to where the UFO is. Nothing yet. Send adrenaline up the back flank though, just in case there's something wandering around back there. It's been known to happen. And now that everybody's used up one of their actions, I'm way too afraid to send anybody too far up, so we'll mostly just overwatch and keep people clustered. Sounds like there's some sectoids out, and the meld canister is over there. Generally, the meld canister is by the UFO, so now I know for a fact that the UFO is somewhere up there. Trying to see if I can find the meld through the fog. No luck. Not really keen on moving down through that canal. There's not a whole lot of cover there. We'll send Amp up there first, who does get eyes on the first pod of sectoids and the meld. 4 turns is plenty of time. Now, I've already captured a sectoid, so I'm not really concerned about that. Like, it would be nice to grab another plasma pistol, but generally I don't use them. Although I might make that exception for Skyder if he really wants one. So right now, plan is just try and pick these guys off and then sprint across to the meld before it goes. With luck, I shouldn't piss off any more pods between here and there. There doesn't seem to be much of anything. If there is anything, it should be by the UFO, so I'm not overly concerned. And that's why Gunslinger is so good. Skyder can take off sectoids after moving, and then as well, I guess, anything with not too much HP. And not the best chance for Amp to pick off the other one. Fortunately, he does get it, so we're free and clear to move up to the meld now. As awesome as a new mechanic that the meld is for the mechs and the gene upgrades, I kind of don't like how they encourage almost a sense of panic. Like, I remember from older interviews with Firaxis Games, they were saying that one of the reasons they put them in was to try and discourage the kind of turtle gameplay. But in XCOM, that's pretty much all you can really safely do. And most players, myself included, are way too afraid to lose soldiers to just basically hard charge up. So, I don't know, it's kind of a weird cognitive disconnect, but I find that it adds a lot more than it takes away from the game, so I'm quite happy with it. That's the main reason why I decided to go right for the expansion pack instead of showing off the base game. The base game is nothing compared to this, even with all its flaws. And by flaws, I mean Seekers. And by Seekers, I mean I suck at fighting them. Okay, nothing yet. I would love to just sprint up there. Unfortunately, with the expansion pack, they removed that glitch where you could use both your movements and then left-click on something to activate it or open a door or something like that. So I can't get the meld this turn. And if I send somebody up to the high ground, they're probably going to peer into the UFO and fuck me over somehow. So next turn will be okay. Yep, there's the UFO where I thought it was. Fortunately, the side facing the meld is still intact, which means that anything inside won't have line of sight out and become activated. So for now, I can just get everybody set up right below that plateau. My thinking is just pop one soldier up on the next turn, grab the meld, and if they see something, then I can just pop them back down again and get set up for an ambush of some description. Kind of dangerous to cluster together, knowing that the aliens with grenades might very well be wandering around out here. That includes both Cyberdiscs and Mutons and Sectoid Commanders at this point, so I'm definitely taking a bit of a risk if I activate anything, but I should be okay. I was this close to moving Drat up there, then I remembered like everybody's already used up most of their moves and probably wouldn't have Overwatch line of sight, so for now we'll just hang tight. And Cecilin can just go on Overwatch back there. Okay, and I know where the second meld is, so it looks like most of the action will be within a smaller space, which is good. Because it means that I won't have to wander around looking for that one little lost sectoid that won't just kill himself or something. Alright, half my problem's taken care of, and nothing triggered. Now I'm getting a little worried, because I don't want them to be more spread out than I think they are. I want everything to be clustered around the UFO so I can get this over with as quickly and as easily as I can. And I do peer inside the UFO and activate 2 Sectoid Commanders.
They're flanking my position.
Now, for those of you curious why there's no outsiders, after you complete the alien base mission, that is, after you use up the skeleton key, you will never fight outsiders again in the game. Which, you know, it sucks a little bit because they're easy enemies, but you can't really get anything out of them besides, I think, like 2 weapon fragments, so it's much better to fight the Sectoid Commanders as their corpses are actually valuable and they will drop more weapon fragments. So getting one of those back home with me would be a very, very nice prize. I figure I can just take this one out and grab his buddy in the back there, so I blow up his cover, as well as take out half his health with 1 alien grenade. So for some reason Hill didn't have line of sight for a bit while the game recalculated. It would be nice to I really wish I had managed to get the improved arc thrower upgrade before this, but no such luck. And I just feed Skype the kill. I'm really hoping to get him leveled up as soon as I can. Alright, so that's 1.5 pods taken care of. I'm anticipating there should be, I think, 1 more, possibly made up of 3, so halfway done already.
Heading to that location.
Just wondering where the hell the other pod could be and what it's going to be made up of. And Cecilin's way too far back to be of any use, so we'll just move him up the right flank. Hopefully he can spy through the UFO and pick off anything that decides to hard charge through on the next turn. And that commander decides to keep on fleeing. I'm quite okay with that. It means I can clear through the UFO, take out whatever the third pod is, and then worry about him at my leisure. So nothing yet. I'm also trying to see if I can find the other meld pod. One time it actually did spawn on top of the UFO in a previous run. Yeah, I didn't bother getting it that time. Unfortunately, it looks like the UFO power source has been destroyed. Maybe also the flight computer. This might not have even been worth going after in the Sky Ranger at this point. I mean, the meld's nice, and as are some more corpses and fragments, but at this point it doesn't look like I'm going to get too much out of the UFO itself.
Enemy spotted.
And there's the other pod, just 2 mutons. Looks like they got the light plasma rifles, so not the best capture, but certainly one I wouldn't mind
They're
making.
moving to flank me. Hauling ass.
So she is flying, so we'll just pop her back there, and both those mutons are in high cover, so very awful chance that I'll even be able to hit them, let alone kill them on this turn. But fortunately, thanks to Dradlin having the sprinter ability, allowing him to move those 3 extra squares, he does get the flank on both of them. So at the very least, he can suppress one of them if I don't take out both on this turn. Was hoping to get them both with a grenade that would also blow up their cover, but no such luck on this turn, and Skyder doesn't even have a shot with squad sight, which surprises me actually. I think it's because he's at the lower elevation. And thanks to mutons having 8 HP, I can't kill them in one hit with any of my weapons right now. With Drad, I decided to take out the one behind because anybody else can shoot the one in the front. The critical hit does take that muton out. So I really don't have a good option with anybody else right now. I'm considering moving Amp back because if that muton comes up, it will have a flank on him. Like, he can tank the one hit from the light plasma rifle, but I'd rather avoid any wounds if I can. So I decided to just suppress him with Amp right now, because if he does decide to shoot, he'll probably miss, and if he moves, he'll just get hit anyway. So, actually, believe it or not, for some reason he's now out of cover. It turns out that Amp suppression, because the shots actually exist, that is, they're actually happening, it's not just an animation, like there's actually projectiles going as far as the game engine is concerned, but they all missed the aliens. One of them hit the muton's cover, destroyed it, and left him out of cover. I've never seen that happen, and as I was celebrating, this just happened. So, welcome to Mind Control. This is one of the things where when it happens, you are on a timer. You need to kill whatever just did the mind control, because obviously you don't want to kill like your own soldier. I mean, that's not like, unless it's just some rookie you don't care about. But I did in a previous run, I did kill one of my mind controlled units that I didn't care about. And because it counted as like a friendly fire kill, it panicked half of my experienced veterans. So pretty much from now on, I have a no-kill policy. So this is one of the reasons why disabling shot is so good. It will force the mind-controlled Amp to not do anything. And Skyder, I don't even know what the fuck he did, but he still missed. So yeah, so a disabling shot will basically prevent a mind-controlled soldier from using his weapon, as the later tier weapons can do a shitload of damage. That's generally considered a good thing. And for some reason I moved Cecil instead of having him use a disabling shot as well on Amp. Like, I'm trying to see if I can get eyes on that sectoid commander back there, but so far, nothing.
Solid copy.
Like, I don't even know why I moved Hill up there to be next to Amp, to be honest.
Cover the flanks.
Like, I think I'm hoping to just sort of like corral him
Got it.
for now. Maybe hope the sectoid commander will move up, try and support his thrall there, and then I can take out the sectoid at my leisure, and also provide extra targets for Amp, because I don't want him to focus on like one of my squishier snipers. I mean, if he shoots the assault, like, not a big deal. She has more defense than the snipers do.
Cover the flanks.
And also I'm trying to see if she might have had eyes on.
Affirmative.
So nothing, so we'll just get her up into cover there, and she does have eyes on the sectoid commander, so I should be able to, at the very least, shoot him or stun him on the next turn. I decided to hunker Ceslin down because I'm afraid Amp's just going to sprint over and unload right in his face. And a shredder rocket would be fantastic right now. Unfortunately, as fucked up as that UFO is, still has enough intact walls to block the shot. So for now, we'll just move him over there into full cover. Try and stay away from AMP as much as we can, and hope that the sector commander moves forward. Probably be hoping for a long time. And yeah, I forgot I gave her close combat specialist, so she just wounded AMP right in the face. And now I'm freaking out thinking that he's about to unload right back at her, but fortunately, by hurting him, she actually caused the AI to want to heal itself. Generally, the AI will prioritize healing itself over anything else. You'll definitely see that with Exalt. If you wound the Exalt medics, even if they're around everybody else who's wounded, they will heal themselves, even if they're only damaged by like 2 or 3 squares. So I did manage to avoid anything too nasty on that turn. Unfortunately, running gun is still on cooldown, and I didn't realize this thing went on Overwatch. Fortunately, I chose to move the one soldier with lightning reflexes, so no harm done there. And I just can't seem to get the flank on that thing. It keeps moving back, and my soldiers are so far back. Not the best chance to hit with Skyder, but that would leave him in cover. Yeah, that shouldn't have surprised me. And unfortunately, Cecilin does not have the squad sight on that guy.
Yes, Commander.
So at this point, I'm thinking, let's just try and leapfrog around AMP, keep cover between him and my soldiers. I'm not too worried about how much damage the sector commander can do. He only has a plasma pistol. Like, yeah, he has the alien grenade, but AMP has a laser rifle as well as suppression abilities, and I think he has a grenade as well. So I'm much more worried about my mind-controlled soldier than I am about that sectoid right now. And for the life of me, I cannot get eyes on that fucking sectoid. Like, this is the worst that mind controller has ever gone for me in any mission. Usually, I'm able to kill whatever did it on the turn after because it's a lot closer quarters, but like, this just sucks. On the plus side, I found the other meld, so I should be able to kill this thing before anything too bad happens. And that's one other thing you really have to worry about. You need to worry about hitting your soldier in an accident. But fortunately, Hill is just close enough to get the grenade, and I actually misclicked. That was... fuck. Yeah, as you might be able to tell by the way I'm moving the mouse in the video, I kind of just gave up. Like, I don't even bother putting that guy in cover. I'm just freaking out at this point. Like, I'm convinced that we're going to lose a soldier if AMP decides to if both AMP and the alien throw their grenade, then somebody is probably going to die. So, fortunately, I can get all 3 of these guys into smoke on this turn. So, I'm trying to get AMP's fire drawn towards some of my beefier soldiers, and try and encourage Sectoid to move closer. It's still not working. I'm running out of explosives, and I'm running out of chances. And AMP decides, fuck, I'm just going to hard charge up and burn half of my soldier's face off. That's just great, CO. Thanks a lot for that. So, after ripping the soul out of his fellow support, I need to figure out a way out of this right now. And believe it or not, the rocket is just out of range, and because you can't fire a rocket after you move, I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. Running gun thankfully cooled down, so I should be able to get Hill up there to do something or other on that thing. Now, I'm very cautious here because I also don't want her to be flanked, because I know that that alien has other abilities that have cooled down by now. And it went on Overwatch again, so lightning reflexes saved my bacon twice now. So we'll just leave her there, take a pot shot on after I figure out everybody else. And I need to heal Drad now, otherwise a stiff breeze is going to make him keel over. And disabling shot is still on cooldown for Skyder, so I can't have him pick off amp with it. Fortunately, I have that with Cecilin. Very good chance to hit. As you can see, he only does a couple points of damage, not enough to land amp in the hospital, and he is disabled for this turn. And it's right about that then that I remember that when he fired, he actually said that he was out of rounds, so I wasted that disabling shot. I really have no excuse for how badly I did on this mission. You may mock me at your leisure. So plan is right now, get Dradlin out of the range of the angry amp, into cover, in the smoke, heal himself up, and worry about the sectoid later. Wasn't too sure if the mind control was going to wear off on its own at this point, because like I said, normally I kill the aliens before even one turn of mind control is done, so I'm very aware that I might actually have to try and put amp down for the count, if not permanently, if I want to walk out of this without losing somebody else. Actually, thinking back on it, I've never tried to see if you can arc throw your own soldier. I don't think you can. That would be great though if you can just stun them and be done with it though. And of course Smots can't hit shit with his alien grenade right now. I'd love to have her take a shot at that damn thing, but I'm actually also kind of wondering, could I maybe get a capture off? I decided to go Overwatch because I'm hoping the thing's gonna like stay put or move up. It just sort of turns the corner, stays in cover, and uses one of its other Psy abilities. That was Psy Panic, if you're wondering. So my one arc thrower soldier is now freaking out, missed her shot, and is going to be completely useless on her next turn.
Cover my flank.
Thankfully, all mind controlled amp does is just move up out of cover and reload. And that's when the mind control weared off. I don't know what to say beyond like eternal rage. Fortunately, you can use mind controlled soldiers on the turn that the mind controlled wears off, so I'm still using 5 troops basically because Hill is panicked. So I'll just grab the meld before it gets blown up and all this crazy bullshit. Put Max in Overwatch and just keep moving up. My thoughts right now are try and get that thing as cornered as I can, because it's just going to keep retreating if I don't get it in some sort of like perimeter. So we'll get one of my snipers up this side, and if the thing janks up there to the top right, he should still be able to get a shot off on it. Skyder thankfully still has squad sight on it. Not the best chance to hit, but it would at the very least put him in the range of an arc thrower on the next turn.
Shot failed to connect.
I don't know what I was expecting at this point.
Let's do this.
Alright, so like I said, move Cecilin up. He has a better line of sight up there. Got somebody else. I got Dradlin over there on the right. I think I said Cecilin earlier. My mistake. And we'll get CEO up there into the other cover and hopefully keep that thing pinned down. I don't know why I didn't move him farther than I did. I should have just moved him up to that low cover up there. Fortunately, it does keep the sectoid pinned. He just decides to plink at poor Dradlin. And with my arc thrower soldier no longer panicked, I should be able to get that thing captured now. And Dradlin actually has a flank I wasn't aware of, so Cecilin should too. Kind of afraid to use both laser pistols, however, I don't want to kill that thing on accident after all this bullshit. I'm hoping that'll still have the flank on him. It doesn't, unfortunately.
On my way.
But Hill can now move up and basically jam her light plasma rifle down that thing's throat, if need be. Now, again, you can see me just sort of pixel hunting with the grenades. Since grenades do fixed damage, they're actually great for weakening enemies down to like 3 or less HP. So we'll just go for a quick halving of his HP. Now, I wish I brought along a frag grenade to just get this thing down to 2. But fortunately, some of my soldiers still have the kinetic pistols, so you should be able to plink off a couple of HP on that thing. Oh my god, why?
Solid copy.
I'm definitely starting to feel the squeeze here, because if I don't do something now, that thing's going to mind control somebody else, and then I'll really be in deep shit. Obviously, no chance in hell to hit it with a pistol from that guy. Then I remember Smots is over there, and the Shredder Rocket does guaranteed 4 damage, no more. So a little bit of pixel hunting there to the right. Easy does it, and I can just get the sectoid out hitting Hill as well, assuming that the rocket hits right there. That was the craziest shit I've ever done to try and get an alien capture. So at 1 HP, she has a 90% chance to just stun this goddamn thing. And we have a new mascot.
Another day, another successful operation.
Let's define success, shall we? Well, Amp shouldn't land in the hospital because he only lost 2 HP, and the Carapace armor gives you +4. Drad's definitely going to be in the hospital after that sorry display. So we should still have a support in case anything untoward happens. And believe it or not, he actually did go into the hospital. I have no idea why.
Excellent
I'm
work,
so
Commander.
fucking mad.
Capturing the alien subjects alive allows for a much wider range of experimentation versus the expired specimens.
Like, I got a fair amount of alloys and some damaged stuff I can sell for a lot of money, but that was a terrible mission. I mean, $70 is $70, and it's nice to have a live sectoid commander to yell at for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just a couple more days until everything is completed. Shouldn't be too much of a problem going forward. And fuck this game.